we end it.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Leolations. Now, if you guys don't know by now, I'm engaged. Thank you. Thank you for all of the well wishes, the congratulations, all of the beautiful messages that I have been receiving mean the most to me. I'm so grateful that you guys are so happy for me and so supportive, and I feel like we're all just celebrating together. So first and foremost, thank you. Second of all, if you hear thunder in the background, it's because it is thunderstorming and the show must go on, so we're still filming today's video, come hell or high water. As you could tell by the title, today I am going to be telling you the advice that I would be giving my younger self about love. I had a young lady reach out to me, one of my supporters DM'd me, and she asked, what would I tell my 22-year-old self about love and relationships, because it's kind of a focus for her in her life right now. She's trying to navigate all of that, what that looks like, how she should be approaching it, what she shouldn't do, like should she focus on it at all of the things. So we're going to get into the advice that I would give my younger self, and hopefully this advice translates to you guys and your situation and you take something away of value from this video, because that is my intention behind all of my advice, behind all of my words. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. And if you guys see me looking to my left, it's because I have my notes over here on my computer. But the first piece of advice I would give to myself, and maybe the most important piece of advice I would give to my younger self, is to stop looking, stop searching for love, stop being on a quest to find this perfect partner and this Prince Charming. Like, girl, just take a chill pill and relax. That's the first thing that I would say. When it comes to wanting to be in love and relationship, that is not a bad thing. Don't let anybody make you feel like that's a bad thing, for wanting that, for desiring that. Everybody wants connection, and if you want your connection to be with somebody who ends up being your husband, your life partner, the father of your children, you want a happy, healthy, fulfilling, long relationship, then you can have that and you can want that. Don't feel bad about wanting that. I know everybody is like, it's so uncool. Not everybody. I feel like it's this common trend on social media right now to be so anti-men, anti-relationship, anti-boy. And it's like, right track, wrong train. Everybody doesn't need to be anti-men, anti-boy. They need to be anti-compromising their values to fill a void that they have in themselves because they're trying to fill it with romantic love. Like, you don't have to throw the baby away in the handbasket. You just have to learn what to do with the baby and at what point the baby comes in and when you're ready for a baby and everything like that, if you get what I'm saying. So when it comes to looking for love, when I finally received the love that I felt resonated with me, that I felt I truly deserved, not even the love, when I finally received and aligned with the partnership, the partner, and the relationship that felt like a match to me, that felt like it was something and it was someone that actually deserved me, that felt like it was the right fit for me. When I aligned with that was when I was living my life for me. I was living my life in pursuit of my own happiness, in pursuit of my own joy, and I was open to the possibility of being in relationship. I wasn't completely closed off to it, but I wasn't searching for it, okay? I also wasn't in the pursuit of my happiness in retaliation for a failed relationship, or in retaliation to be outside to show a man like, oh, you should have did better, you should have chose me, da da da. Like, no, it had nothing to do with a man. It was for me. It was for my happiness. It was for my life. It was for my enjoyment, my experience. And in that time, I was not looking for love. I was not really interested in being in a relationship, but I was open to the possibility of meeting people, and I was open to letting life surprise me, and boy did it. The point is to not be looking for a connection, but you're allowed to be interested in exploring connections that come your way, if you so choose to, okay? Number two, you have to have a self And this is why I say the point is not to be looking for love, searching for somebody, actively putting yourself out there on the market for the purpose of finding a partner. No, you're going to find a partner while you're living in your bliss, while you're living your best life, while you're content with yourself, while you're okay with being alone. Once you learn how to have a self, is when you actually align with a partner that is a good fit for you, not somebody that's just a man that look good to you, that you can go out on dates with and y'all argue from time to time and he gets you nice things. No, I mean a real covenant with another person will be made when you learn to have a self, when you learn to live for yourself, when you learn to pursue your own happiness and fulfillment in your own life instead of looking for a romantic relationship or a man to fulfill that role for you or make that happen for you. Like, your happiness should not be dependent on if you do or don't have a man. Your happiness should not be dependent on if you are or aren't in a romantic relationship. It should never be dependent on those things, okay? That should always be an addition to you. Like I always tell you guys, you're supposed to be the cake, okay? You're supposed to be the cake, and he's the frosting, the sprinkles, and he's the box that hold the cake together, okay? He's the box that contains the cake. But he's not the cake. You are the cake. You have to mix all the ingredients together, and you have to put yourself in the oven, bake it all up, and be who you are. Anything a relationship comes with is an addition to you. It does not make you who you are. A cake is still a cake without icing. That's why we got pound cake. You ain't gotta put no icing on no pound cake, okay? Okay. And in order to have a self, you have to know what you want in life. You have to have an aim in life. You have to ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want to experience? What do I truly value? What do I want to have in this lifetime? You have to ask yourself these things, because if you're not clear on what your desires are, if you're not clear on what you want, then how are you going to be able to imagine those things into being? How are you going to be able to attain those things? How are you going to be able to recognize it when it's in your face? You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to move in the direction of what you want. Okay, quick pause before we get back into the video, because talking about all of this advice made me think about how much of our relationship patterns can be connected to what we may believe we have to do to feel chosen or feel secure or be loved. When I was younger, I didn't always recognize the difference between genuinely loving someone and abandoning myself to keep a connection. Sometimes that can look like overthinking every interaction, ignoring what your body is telling you, saying yes when you really mean to say no, or constantly trying to prove that you're worthy of being loved. And even when you know better logically, it can be difficult to understand why you keep repeating certain patterns or showing up a certain way in your relationships. That's why I'm happy to introduce today's sponsor, BetterHelp. Therapy can give you a space to better understand your patterns, unpack where they may be coming from, and develop tools that help you make choices that honor your needs with more confidence, balance, and self-awareness. BetterHelp makes starting therapy easier. You can take a short quiz and get matched with a licensed therapist quickly. And you can communicate in whatever way feels most comfortable for you, whether that's by phone, by text, or by video. And if your initial therapist doesn't feel like the right fit, then it's completely okay, because you could switch therapists at no additional cost to you. Over 6 million people to date have gotten help through BetterHelp. And this could be a meaningful first step in getting the support that actually feels right for you. Click the link in my description or go to betterhelp.com/LeahAlexander to get 10% off of your first month of therapy. That had to be said. Now let's get back into the video. I will also tell my younger self to learn to love and respect herself first. I would tell her that you have to learn to accept and love yourself fully, flaws and all, because if you do not, then you will go looking for love in all of the wrong places. Again, trying to fill a void, trying to fill a hole in your heart with meaningless sex, with meaningless dates, with men who are not good fits for you, with men who are pushing you and pulling you away farther from your path that you're meant to be on. Because when something is not truly meant for you and you're feeding energy into it and you're feeding your time into it and you're allowing it access to you, then that pulls you further away from your truest path in life, your path of most fulfillment. So it's vital that you learn to love and accept yourself fully, flaws and all. I will also tell her, don't ever forget that you set the tone. You set the standard. Not him, not social media, not society, not your family, not your friend group, your peer group, your homegirls, your best friend. No, you set the tone, you set the standard. If you want to be treated a certain way, then you have to set that standard. If you require certain things in order to feel valued, in order to feel safe, in order to feel heard, then that is what you require, and that should never be up for debate, ever. A lot of people have the misconception that you have to tell people how you want to be treated. You have to lay out the law for them. You have to tell them, do this, don't do this, do that, don't do that. No, you show people how you want to be treated by how you treat yourself. People pay attention, especially when it comes to love and relationships. Men pay attention. Do you think he's really going to be respecting you, really paying attention to what makes you laugh? Or do you think he's going to be super attentive, respecting your time, respecting your space and different things like that if you don't even respect your time? If you don't even respect your own space? If you don't even respect yourself? Like, girl, come on now. You set the tone at the end of the day. People treat you how they see you treat yourself. So you damn sure better be treating yourself with the utmost care and the utmost respect. And you need to love and you need to accept yourself, flaws and all. And another thing, don't think that just because somebody finds a problem in how you are, or finds a problem in certain personality traits that you have, or who you are at your truest essence, who you are at your core. Don't think that because somebody has a problem with that, that means that you should change it. If that is really who you are at your truest core, and it's not hurting nobody, you're not harming nobody, and it just, like, I don't know, bothers them or something that they don't like, that's not a you problem, boo, that's a them problem. Yes, as a woman, as a human being, you are constantly supposed to be evolving, growing, and learning. Yes. You're not above change. The only thing promised in this life is change. You're going to change, but when it comes to the true essence of your being, the things that make you you, you don't have to change that for anybody. I personally am not a lot of people's cup of tea. I'm not a lot of men's cup of tea. But I'm my man's cup of tea. I'm his cup of tea, his favorite drink in the morning, the water that keeps him alive, the water that quenches his thirst, okay? I'm all of that and then some, because we align with each other on more than a physical surface level. We align with each other on an emotional level, a mental level, a spiritual level, a physical level. Every single level that there is to align on, we align on it. Why? Because I am who I am. I'm not performing to fit his standards or his molds of what a perfect woman is. I'm just who I am, and that just so happens to be somebody who is in energetic alignment with who would be right for him. And he happens to be somebody, by being naturally who he is, that is in energetic alignment with who is right for me. Do you get what I'm saying? I will also tell her that you have to commit to perfecting yourself internally. Like I said, as a woman, you should be striving for perfection. And by perfection, I do not mean getting everything right, because that is impossible. Failure is a key step to success. You're not going to get everything right. You're not going to do everything perfectly. But when I say internal perfection, I mean being able to take the time to self-reflect, journal, take stock of yourself, reflect on your decisions, integrate all of the lessons that you've learned, confront and make friends with your demons. All of that, grow, learn, change. That is how you become internally perfect. That is how you purify yourself. As long as you are constantly committed to that growth, as long as you are constantly committed to that evolution, then it is inevitable that you are going to get to a point internally, and I mean on a mental and spiritual level, that you become perfect. Because it's like working a muscle. And when I say perfect, I mean free from any impurities, as far as negative doubts, as far as any external stimuli throwing your moods, throwing your emotions, throwing how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the things that you have created and different things like that. That is what I mean by perfection. I mean mental and spiritual clarity, mental and spiritual purity. Be committed to that as a woman. Every woman needs an aim in life, and I personally believe you can never, ever, ever lose if your primary aim in life is consistent and constant evolution. You can never lose, ever. The only way you lose is if you stay the same. I would tell my younger self that as a young woman, your priority in life should be building a life that you genuinely enjoy. Unhappy women are easy to take advantage of. Unhappy women are easy to exploit. If you are living a life that you are not satisfied with, if you are not really pushing yourself to the best of your ability, if you're not really putting the work in on yourself or in your chosen work or whatever it is you want to accomplish in life, whatever it is that you want to attain in life, then you're going to have some feelings of unhappiness within yourself. And when you have those feelings of unhappiness, it feels like you have a hole in your heart. It feels like you have a hole in your soul, and you're going to want to either fill that with meaningless sex, meaningless relationships, or hella consumerism. So you have to be focused on building a life that you genuinely enjoy, a life that you feel you have purpose in, a life where you feel that you are useful to others, that you are useful to your community, useful to your friends, to your family, whatever your chosen community or tribe is. You need to feel useful. You need to feel like you are contributing. You need to feel like you are living, like your life has some sort of purpose. That is how you build a beautiful life for yourself. You also have to learn what you like, what you don't like, what your value system is, your top values are, what your standards are, what you want to have access to you, what you want to spend your time doing, what you want to focus your mental energy on. You have to learn all of these things to build a life that you truly enjoy. And in order to do that, you have to go out and experience. You have to actually make yourself available to life. You have to put yourself out there and put yourself in position. So sit with yourself, pour into yourself, define your values, experience the world, have fun, make memories, and always keep your eye on your ultimate aim, which I suggest should be constant evolution and growth. This is a really big one that I would tell my younger self, and I feel like a lot of people need to hear this. When you want anything in life, and when it comes to love and relationships, it is no different. You have to relax and you have to let go of controlling the outcome. Once you have a desire in life, and since we're talking about love and relationships, obviously, let's say your desire is marriage. When you have a desire in life to be married and to be in a happy, healthy, fruitful, fulfilling marriage, then you can't try to manufacture that into being. That is something that you receive. It's something that just happens. In my opinion, I feel that true love kind of chooses you. And when you have the pleasure and the blessing and the opportunity to experience that, it's not something that you can manipulate into staying. It's not something that you can control into looking exactly how you want it to look. You are not able to control the timing of it. You're not able to control the outcome of it. You're not able to control any of those things. So relieve yourself of that burden of feeling responsible for controlling the outcome of your relationship or of your love life. Free yourself from that. Instead, like I said, focus on your bliss, focus on your happiness, focus on building and creating a life that you love being in, regardless of if a partner is there or not. And once you become of that frequency, that is when you will most likely meet that person. But until, you can't fake the frequency, you know what I'm saying? Until you actually embody that and become impartial, or until you're able to become indifferent to it being there, you're most likely not going to receive it. You're not going to receive something if you're desperate for it. The universe can smell desperation, okay? And that repels all of your desires. So you have to let go of wanting to and trying to control the outcome. Like, just take a chill pill and enjoy the ride. Like, just vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, just vibe out. I think for me personally, and my younger self will be laughing at this now, for me personally, I think my relationship has gotten to this point where we're about to get married, and it's been so beautiful and felt so easy, and it's been so rewarding because I went into the relationship with no outcome in mind. I had no real desired goal besides, I want to live a life that makes me happy. I'm going to follow my joy. I'm going to follow my bliss. And if this is adding to that, then this is adding to that. I'm open to seeing where this goes. But I didn't go into it thinking, oh, I'm finna make him my husband. Oh, he's finna be my boyfriend. Oh yeah, I want him. Like, I didn't go pick him out of a crowd, girl. I didn't go like manufacture instances where we had hung out or seen each other or crossed each other's paths. Like, I didn't do any of that. Who did that? God did that, okay? I didn't do any of the happenings. When you let go of control, the happenings happen naturally and you get to enjoy the journey. Think about it too. Like, if your goal is marriage and to have that happy, fulfilling relationship, you don't want to get to your wedding or past your marriage point and think to yourself or tell your future children or your family, like, yeah, we got married because I chased him down and I found him here and I did this and I convinced him of this and I made him believe that this and da 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 da. Like, girl, no. Like, you want it to be natural. You want it to flow. You want it to be easy. Those are the best relationships. So just relax, take a chill pill, and let go of trying to control the outcome, because that is when you're going to get the outcome that you actually want, when you learn to let go. And like I said earlier, you have to be open but not desperate, okay? The way you avoid being desperate is by being willing to walk away. A lot of times people are desperate because they're not in the position to walk away. And you're not in the position to walk away when you aren't self-sufficient. You're not in the position to walk away when you haven't created a full life for yourself outside of what a man may or may not bring to your life, outside of what a man can and cannot do for you. You are not in a position to walk away when all of your validation and your self-worth comes from outside noise, comes from what a man thinks about you, comes from what other people think about you. You are not in a position to walk away when you don't feel good about yourself as a person, if you are not compromising your values and your standards in order to make somebody else happy, aka people pleasing. You're not in a position to walk away when you don't know how to choose yourself. So you have to be able to do that in order to not be desperate. Because if you're not able to choose yourself, you're always going to be wreaking a sense of desperation. And what did I say? Desperation repels your desires. And know this, when it comes to men in relationships, boo-boo, if they're not adding, they're subtracting. If they're not adding more peace, joy, security, stability, intimacy, any of the things that are your core values, the things that you really need to feel fulfilled, if they're not adding any of those things into your life, then they are subtracting. The only people in my eyes that can get by without adding anything to your life are children and the elderly. And in a way, I feel like children add joy to your life. I feel like children add purpose to your life. I feel like the elderly add wisdom to your life. So it's like everybody got to be putting in something around here, okay? Nothing in life is free. And you got to pay in energy, attention, investment, all of the things. The next thing that you really want to avoid doing is putting your life on hold for love. That's literally insane. That's crazy. It's okay to want to experience your love through a partner, but if it's not your reality in the present, then you have to continue living, you have to continue creating, and you have to continue experiencing your own life. That shouldn't stop just because you're not in a relationship. Like, you should still be going on the trips. You should still be getting yourself nice things. You should still be making sure your bills are paid. You should still be doing work that you choose to do, work that makes you happy, or work that you feel secure in. Like, you should be doing all of the things. That should not be dependent on if you do or do not have a man. I say all that to say, focus on you until the focus is on you. All right? Now, when it comes to choosing the right partner, I have some different advice, because obviously you have to have a certain level of discernment to be able to choose a partner that is really, really a good fit for you. Not just somebody that make you feel good inside and, you know, warm you up at night and maybe put some butterflies in your stomach. No, I'm talking about a partner that really encourages you to become the highest version of yourself, who encourages you to be who you are truly meant to be on this earth, and who supports you in pursuit of that. Somebody who does life with you, who rides out life with you, the highs, the lows, everything. That's what I'm talking about, okay? A real spiritual like love. Not the things that you just get to like on Instagram. I'm saying the real deal, holy feel, okay? First things first, when it comes to choosing the right partner, I hate to break it to you, but if you have to convince yourself that he's the one, then he's not the one. If you have to convince yourself that he is the one, he's not the one, babe. He is not the one. I remember being, and my younger self, girl, I look back at her with grace. I remember being in relationships where I'm doing all the synastry charts. I am doing the numerologies. I'm looking for signs and symbols, looking at all of the breadcrumbs, like, oh, well, no, see, this means that we're meant to be together, and oh, no, well, he may be my husband, or oh, no, well, this really is the right guy for me, and da-da-da-da. All because at the time, I was so thirsty and desperate for a partner and for a certain void within me to be fulfilled, because I wasn't going out and getting what I wanted out of life and claiming that for myself with or without a partner. You know what I'm saying? I was putting my life on hold for certain things. I was waiting for the Prince Charming to come and save and rescue me before I could live the happily ever after. No, 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 no. I just remember so many times where I was trying to manufacture whoever I was in a relationship with at the time to be my soulmate, to be the one. Literally, no. When you know, you know. That is a real saying. When I knew that my fiance was going to be my husband, the father of my children, the person that I would, God willing, spend the rest of my life with, I knew. Like, it was a feeling. It was like a recognition, like, oh, I know you from a different plane of existence, and I'm seeing you here in the flesh, and we are finally crossing paths, and this is like the marker in time where we start walking this path together. Like, oh, I know you. I know. It was a familiar feeling. It wasn't like, it's just that when you know, you know. Like, I really do not know how to explain it besides when you know, you know. So if you're having to convince yourself and the signs aren't there in your face, clear as day, then he's not the one. Next, when it comes to choosing the right partner, you have to stop valuing the wrong things, okay? I don't know what happened. I think it was a scheme Todd set up, or it was a scheme by the government and the CIA PSYOP, girl, I don't know. But something happened to where they infiltrated our minds as the youth, as Gen Z, and very, very late millennials, to value materialism over everything else, to value money over everything else. Valuing those things as your top values will have you compromising your self-respect, to stay in relationships that do not serve you, to stay in relationships that may be a danger to you, to stay in relationships that are way past their expiration date. You mean to tell me that you gonna stay with a man that's beating on you, that's doing crazy things, that's cheating on you, had a baby on you, did God knows what, all because he buying you bags and he take you on trips and he flying you God knows where and he doing this and he flashing and he got it and he so and so? Girl, please, hang it up. Next caller. No, you should never put the money, the material, anything over your self-respect, your values, and your standards. You should be more worried about how this man treats you when he's upset. You should be more worried about how he treats people that are below him in a status level, how he treats service workers, how he treats children, how he treats the elderly, how he treats people that he views as less than them. You should be more worried about, does this man have integrity? Is this man somebody that I feel safe around? Is this man somebody that I admire? Do I trust him? Do I respect him? Not because he told me that I need to respect him, not because he told me I need to just trust him, not because he told me I should feel safe around him. No, not because of nothing that's coming out of that little mouth, girl, but because of his actions, because of the way he moves. You have to pay attention to him. You need to be valuing more than the money in his pocket, how flashy he is, and whether he looks like he got it or not. Value much more than that, because there's much more in life to value. Know that when it comes to love and relationships, discernment is key. Discernment is what will save you from wasting years of your life in tumultuous, toxic relationships that drain you, okay? Attracting a partner is not the hard part. I feel like a lot of women watch videos on attraction, how to attract a man, how to be this, how to be that, how to be alluring, da 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 da. Girl, you can attract a man by literally showing your collarbone. Like, it doesn't take that much, okay? It doesn't take that much on a basic level. Your focus should be having a high enough level of discernment to be able to choose a partner that is a good fit for you and your life vision. You need to know what you want your life to look like. You need to know what type of lifestyle you want to live. You need to know what you want to create and contribute to the world. You need to know if you want a family, if you don't want a family, if you want to live abroad, if you want to do this, if you want to do that. Because you'll have options, but the partner that you choose needs to be the partner that aligns with the vision you have for your life. Always have an aim, a life vision that guides you in all of your decision making, including the partner that you choose. An important thing that I always tell my younger self is that a key marker in knowing if a man is a good fit for you or not is if you are able to willingly give up control around him. Not because he asked you to, not because he told you you need to, or not because anybody convinced you that's what you're supposed to do when a man's around. No. Are you willingly giving up control around him? Are you able to soften and lean into your femininity? Do you feel safe enough to do that? Do you feel safe enough for him to be able to hold you, to sustain you, to support you in whatever it is that your pursuits are? Do you feel that he is solid ground for you to land on? That is how you will know who is the right man for you or who is not the right man for you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he feels safe. Well, he's gonna feel safe, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he will be the safest choice, you know? Like, that doesn't mean that you have to settle on the nice guy, the guy that's good on paper, the guy that does this, and that, and he would do this, and that. If he's not really aligning with all of your standards, if he's not aligning with your life vision, like I said, then he's not the guy. In order for him to be the right guy, he has to align with your life vision. And in order to know if he aligns with your life vision, you have to be clear on what your life vision is. And you also have to be willing to let go of control around him naturally. Not because he convinced you to, not because he asked you to, like I said, not because nobody told you to, but because you feel safe enough and you trust him enough to be able to let your guard down and allow him to contain you, allow him to support you, allow him to be solid ground for you. And at the end of the day, it's very, very, very important for young women to know a real man wants you to flourish with or without him. A real man puts you in position. If that man is saying he loves you, he respects you, he values you, you his woman, you his girl, you love his life, but he's not putting you in position in any of the ways that he can, then he's lying through his teeth. A real man supports you in you reaching your highest potential in whatever way that may look like, in whatever way he is able to support you. A real man puts you on game. He wants to give to you, not because you ask for it, but just because it's a natural desire in his being. He wants to help you. That is what a real man is. And lastly, one of the things that I would tell myself is that true love that is meant for you does not require you to erase yourself. True love is not chaotic. It is not toxic. It does not require you to compromise on your values or your morals or your self-respect. If anything, it refines those things and it reinforces those things within you. It strengthens all of that within you and within your life. If the love and the relationship that you're experiencing is subtracting from you in any of those ways or attacking any of those things, then it is not the love that is meant for you. It is not a love that is good for you. It is not a love that will nurture you, and it is not a love that will support you on any day, your highest days, your lowest days, any day. You don't have to erase yourself to be in love. You don't have to become this perfect stereotypical woman to get the love that you deserve. Real love does not require erasure of yourself. Real love does not require you to become or fit this mold of who society has told you the perfect woman or the perfect wife or the perfect partner is. Real love requires you to show up fully and completely as yourself, and real love requires you to do the work and commit to constant growth and evolution. That is what real love requires. It requires you to stay true to yourself, to maintain yourself, to pour into yourself, and to evolve constantly. That is what real love requires from you. As you're navigating this space of love, relationships, do I not? Do they love me? Do they love me not? What's going on? Do I focus on that? Do I focus on me? The most important thing is not that you stay grounded, but that you stay rooted. And I say rooted because grounded is like, okay, I'm standing on the ground, but I can still jump up. You know what I'm saying? I can still jump up and be floating in the air. I can get on a plane and be flying in the air. I'm not on the ground no more. But when you're rooted, and them roots are all stretched through the ground, all up in the earth, firm, connected to your value system, connected to your standards, what's important to you, it's gonna take some real force to uproot that tree. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you stay rooted in your femininity. Very important that you stay rooted in your value system. Never be afraid to speak up for yourself, for what matters to you, for what you value, for what your standards are, for what you will and what you won't tolerate. Always speak up for yourself. Allow yourself to be difficult to impress. One of the worst things that you can be as a woman is easily impressed. It should take more than money, sex, a trip, a couple dates, or a compliment to earn your true devotion and to earn full access to you, mind, body, and soul. And most importantly, keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on your aim in life. Always have your ultimate life vision in mind. And anything that doesn't align with that, anyone that doesn't align with that, any environment that doesn't align with that, you're going to have to move past it at some point. So be okay with that. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I have said a lot. My jaw is hurting from talking so much. I hope that you've taken away things of value. Let me know in the comments down below what has really resonated with you, what I may have said that you really needed to hear right now. And don't forget, you guys, to like this video, comment down below, like I said, and subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure that you subscribe to my video diaries and vlogs channel because we have fun over there. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. and I will talk to you guys in the next episode of Lealations. Bye bye.